Okay, good morning, guys. How are we doing today? Um, I think it's like all the time, every year that we hear the question, how do we manage our time? And I think it starts from how you view time. If you see time as a valuable resource, you will treat it as such. In other words, you will optimize for productivity and impact because most of the time there's always going to be 1,000,001 things to do. You cannot even run away from that. As long as you're alive, you have to do something. And if you don't have something that you're deliberately doing, you're going to be sucked into what others are doing. So that's why somebody can sit down in front of the TV for hours. Some other person can sit down in front of their phone doing no real productive work, right? So it's important to have the mindset that time is of essence, time is important, time is valuable, and you are and time is more than money. So if you protect your money with all your might and you do your best to, make sure you derive as much value from your money, then I wonder why you treat time as if it's something that is, you know, not so important or not so valuable. So let me give you an example. So somebody wants to travel from Lagos to Abuja and he thinks, okay, I'll go by road. By road, you do like maybe 8 hours, right? And in those 8 hours, you don't have the freedom to do any real productive work, right? But you can hop on a flight 1 hour, 15 minutes later, you're in Abuja. Now, some will say, oh, flight is expensive. No, the extra 6 hours, 7 hours plus that you wasted is more expensive, but because you've not been able to put a value on your time, you think that, okay, it's okay for me to, um, to not have anything doing for that period of time. So, time, the perspective you have of time will determine to a large extent how much value you place on it. So it's, for example, some people question my always sitting at home. I don't visit friends. I don't so much like to go out. I'm trying to change that a little bit now because of my kids and my wife. But I am very much comfortable by myself. I can be in the house all alone without company and I will enjoy myself. I became jobless in 2018 and every now and then my mom is asking, are you okay? Are you not bored? And I say, how can I be bored when I have so much work to do? You can lose your job and still have a lot of work to do. And it's because time is very important, right? And I see every opportunity to impact somebody's life or impact my community or impact, my group or whatever it is as an opportunity to invest my time. So it's an investment of time. Now, all the things we've been doing in ATL, all the people we have been teaching and all of that, we're investing time, right? Some may say, okay, maybe because they're not bringing us any real direct value, then maybe we're just wasting our time. But no, those things have a way of going into the future, right? I always say this story. Some time ago, when I just finished school. I was back from service, yes. And then one night I was with my babe at that time, and we were just talking and, talking about different things. And then I passed out. This was, I think, just shortly after midnight. And of course, panic setting. Oh, what's going on? Well, it'll have been even good if we were doing something and then I passed out. But we were just talking and then that was it. And yeah, she raised the alarm. Some guys in the lodge backed me on their back. They were rotating. because of course I was one big heavy bag of, you know, load. And so they were rotating and they got me to the health center. Now, because I've not been one that falls sick often, so I didn't even have a health center card, right? But when they got there and, you know, the doctor on duty happened to be walking by at that time and he saw me and said, "Oh, please admit this guy quickly." So they checked my BP. My BP was 160, 140 something. You know, I was literally on the road to, you know, the other side. And this doctor, you know, got me admitted, administered all the treatments. I think I was there for a few days and, you know, paid all the bills as well. And I've never met the doctor before. I don't even know him, right? So after that incident, you know, one thing led to another. We started talking, and I asked that why did he do that? And he said he in his junior brother has always talked about me that I taught him programming and something like that, you know, and it was just his opportunity to pay that back, you know. And it was very mind blowing for me because even till today, cannot, I don't even know the brother till now. Because when I was back in school, I always, you know, take classes of random people and just teach them stuff, you know. So, and tutorials, I take programming tutorials as well. So, you know, that was time invested that came back in time to save me. You know, imagine that that doctor was not on duty and they were arguing about where is his health card, where is his this, where is his that, you know, and I cannot respond. It would be a big issue, right? And so yes, so imagine that there was nobody to take the bill or treat me at that time. I could have been gone, right? And it means that all the subsequent time that was invested would have all gone to waste. And so that's why it's important to see time as a valuable resource. And as to how to manage it, I'll be back in a minute.